Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Angels and Destiny show. Oh, now I've completely forgotten. Why is this show called this, you may ask? So I'll tell you. The exact meaning of angel is messenger, and the exact meaning of destiny is to make firm establish. So my guests and I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And also, I like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I will introduce you to my wonderful guest, Jemma Rosenthal. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live at a later date, as it means a lot to us to connect with like minded people. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Ray, and I'm a guide who helps you remember your divine presence so that you can heal your past, create your future, and transform your present, to expand your consciousness, understand your spiritual path, and take charge of your destiny so that you can spread your wings and soar. I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and through Divine Presence, virtual and actual retreats, transformational packages, a 6-week guided meditation series for confidence, workshops, and so much more, you remember why you are here, your spiritual path, and the clarity on the next steps to take. Now, each episode of this show covers various themes of your journey. I'm in a guided meditation or angel oracle card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's guest, Jemma Rosenthal, talking about music and spirituality. Now, Jemma is a singer songwriter, music producer, dancer, writer, actor, and creative life coach. Founder of Creative Hearts, multi award winning entrepreneur for Find Your Voice, and best selling co author. Gemma has a BA Honours in Professional Dance and Musical Theatre and is trained in Reiki Level 2 and has an NLP Life Coaching Level 5 diploma. BBC Radio Sheffield described her voice as angelic, and it really, really is. She co-hosts Find, Tell, Share, the Storytellers podcast, interviewing artists and entrepreneurs. Gemma blends her passion for creativity, healing, and storytelling, using music and other art forms as a healing tool, encouraging others and herself to share their voice, experience of coming home to themselves through creative and artistic expression. Now, this is continuing conversation with Gemma from our last show back in May, as we realised there was so much more to talk about. But you needn't have watched that show to enjoy this show. But if after this show you want to go back and watch that show, I'll put the link in the comments. Now, with testimonials such as if you're looking for transformation, spiritual insight, and growth, then I highly recommend that you connect with Jemma. I found Gemma's coaching very enlightening, liberating, and empowering. And little did I know that she helped uncover what I'd been hiding myself and my many talents to bring me joy beyond past criticisms. And her energy and smile help you go back into the world a brighter, more vibrant you. Highly recommend. And if you listen to her music, it's absolutely amazing, very uplifting, and really gets to your emotions, which is one of the reasons why we're continuing this conversation today. So without further delay, hello, Gemma, and welcome back to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Hi, Ray. I'm really good today. I've just been doing a gig earlier on at Together Women, which is a women's charity, and I really enjoyed being able to sing and everyone singing along with me as well. So that was really enjoyable, and I did some old classics, like Every Woman and River Deep, Mountain High. So it was just really so much fun to do today. And thank you once again for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And we'll be talking more about that a little bit later. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that not only can you share this video, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Gemma and I want to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy. So Gemma, why don't you tell us more about your journey and how music and spirituality can work together to help raise our vibration and promote healing?
Yeah, I just want to say, Catherine's made a comment, so just you can write your comments underneath, so and then we'll answer questions if you have any questions or if you've got a comment. I know you sing as well, so if you want to just share about your journey with music and spirituality, that'd be really great.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. So, for those that didn't meet you last time, just give us a bit of background about yourself.
Oh, sorry, it's me now.
Yes, you. It's you, not Catherine, it's you now.
Yes. So I'm a singer-songwriter and I dance and act. And I've always been into music ever since I was a little child. Music was in my family as well. My mum and dad both play music, and my sister plays music as well. And it was just something that I was drawn to, even before I had a spiritual practice or before I knew what spirituality was. Music was the way I healed, and s specifically songwriting as well. I would go to the piano and I'd write music, and I don't know why I did it or how I knew that that was the way to deal with my emotions at the time. Um, I didn't really have anyone tell me to do it, even though my mum and dad play music, they didn't write songs. So it was interesting how I just started to do it intuitively, even as a child. I would record on cassette tapes and make songs up, and I just used to listen to the radio, and I'd I'd copy, the songs that I heard and the melodies, but then I'd start to make my own. And it was just such an amazing, fun thing to do, and it just came so naturally. And then went to musical theatre college in London, Erdang Academy, and I got to do dancing and singing, lots of harmony singing. We learn how to sing and dance at the same time and to stick to one harmony as everybody else is doing all the different harmonies. I don't know if you know about doing that if you do a show and you have your line. And,
Yeah.
I remember we would just be we used to have these things called dictaphones before everybody recorded on their phones.
I've still got a
Oh, you still
dictaphone.
got a dictaphone, yeah. So we'd just record on your dictaphone the harmony line, just so that you can remember it when you get back home. So that was really, yeah, just have those memories of just filling up my dictaphone with all the harmonies that I had to learn. And harmonies was something that I really enjoyed doing even before then. I remember I'd harmonize to anything that was on the radio, just like make a harmony to it. And yeah, I guess just music just feels so natural to me, and it just feels like a spiritual experience. Um, Takes out of the day to day. I think this is the thing, is life is very much sometimes can get monotonous, can it? And just like, okay, this is the day and I have to do this and that. And I think music just brings to life the day. If you have a few songs to put on, if you can listen to some music, it just brings your day to life and gives it meaning and purpose. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit about why I got into music.
Yeah, and it's amazing how music can do that. I mean, I remember, as a teenager, and we're going back a long time here, and that if when I had to clean my bedroom, I could only clean it if I had Depeche Mode on. Not the most vibrant, but there was just something in that music that helped me clean my bedroom.
Yeah. What's a pesh mode?
Depeche Mode. Oh, it's a group from the
Oh, okay.
from the 80s. It was yeah, it wasn't the most uplifting of music, let's put it that way.
But you had to put it on. Yeah. It's probably a bit before my time, that's why I'm
I think it's a little
yeah,
bit before your time, yes.
maybe. Although I was singing 80s music, that was what I got asked for today at the gig. They said, "Have you got any 80s music?" So I did Whitney Houston 'cause I wanna dance with somebody, which is that 80s or 90s? I'm not sure.
That's probably nice. I mean,
Probably
Depeche
90s.
Mode, you're looking at early 80s, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You're not expected to know that.
No, that's fine. No, it's interesting. It's we were talking about before, weren't we? That sometimes it's like we just get drawn to certain types of music and we don't always know why that is. And it might be because we've got something emotionally that we need to heal, and that music somehow resonates with those emotions and it allows us to feel that release. So even if it's not uplifting music, it might still be really beneficial to listen to something that makes us cry or makes us just feel something new, feel something different than what we were before. Because music can change our state. It's a state changer, and it's very powerful, to connect with. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, because, obviously, as people that know me know, I'm a big, uh, um, what God is it? Jim Steinman fan.
Mhm.
I love all the Bat of Hell, the musical, my favourite of all time. Rock and Roll Dreams Come True talks about putting on the headphones and listening to music when
Yeah,
things aren't going right.
yeah,
As
exactly. I'm
I
gonna have to look up all these because that it's like it's so interesting. Like I do music, but I'm still like that. There's still things or what are they call eras or like certain styles of music that I'm just like clueless on. So I
Yeah.
feel like a
Ju ju
newbie.
just think of, or Meatloaf songs and Bonnie Tyler songs. They're all, Jim Steinman,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's definitely worth, listening to. His music is, it's been covered said by Meatloaf, um, Celine Dion, has
Mhm.
also covered it, Bonnie Tyler. So yeah, different people for you to go and listen to,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in
I
the
mean, I
past.
sing a bit of Celine Dion. So I know one of her really powerful songs is Surrender. So that to me is a really spiritual, like just power song, like I surrender. It's just like, whoa. Makes me surrender.
Yeah. Sharon says,
Mhm.
okay, so just randomly popped on, might have disappeared to which I played. I wanted to say that I don't think I could exist without music, singing and songs. I'm always channeling harmonies.
Mm,
Sound is so therapeutic and, healing, a subject I could talk hours on.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, Sharon, yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Go on.
go on.
Go on. I was gonna say that's why we've chosen to talk about it today because we had the other conversation about um talking about spirituality and mental health, and then we got onto the topic of music naturally because I do music as well. So it just felt like such a natural follow on from that conversation because I do think a lot of artists or creative people as well that do music tend to suffer from mental health. And I don't know what your thoughts are, Ray, on this and on like how we can link our last conversation to this one as well. You know, if you think about even like a lot of great musicians that sometimes really suffer in the music industry or they, you know, end up dying from drugs or the
Yeah,
whole scene, and it's so interesting, isn't it, that something that's so healing such as music can then also have this darker side in terms of like how getting into the industry can affect people, and even for us that haven't sort of got that like worldwide fame at this current time yet, or even then they can have mental health issues for the opposite reasons of well, similar reasons still, of like, oh, I've not yet succeeded, or I'm gonna, I've got friends that probably, they drink because they haven't succeeded in their music dreams. And it just blows your mind because it's just like these talented people, these wonderful beautiful souls, and it gets me so. I don't want to use the word angry because that makes it seem as if I'm not angry. It's just that there's a right
disheartening.
disheartening, yeah. But even more than that, 'cause disheartening would mean that I've given up, but the thing is, I haven't given up. I'm very passionate about this conversation, and I wanna support artists to live our full lives so that we can be free. And that's why I started Creative Hearts, because I wanted a place, a safe place for us to express our emotions, to create from the heart, so that we're not gonna go down those pathways that just lead us to nowhere, basically. That could be a song title, Pathways to Nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just like
There
that's
you go.
because that's what happens is like even though we can love music, it's like, well, where is it leading us? How and once you have a spiritual practice, you can use music to support that spiritual practice rather than take you away from it. And I think that's the difference. Uh, that's what we're here to do. It's like, how can we use the music that we love, the music that supports us, I mean, even thinking about someone like Whitney Houston, I've just read the book by her friend and partner at one time, but she had to keep it a secret because it wasn't allowed. Um, so, and it's just so sad how a woman of such spiritual power, in singing, performance, presence on stage. It's like, how do we make sure that we don't fall into those traps of fame and drugs that may take us or shorten lives, you know? I'm not saying, it was her fault or anything like that, but it's about us as musicians now or artists now, healers, it's about kind of learning from the past. You've got people like Amy Winehouse as well, and just there's so many examples we could name. I don't want to make this show like a memorial. What's the word? So just, but it's about having gratitude for those artists for bringing their gifts, for bringing their skills and talents, but then realizing as a society, wow, we don't treat artists very well at all. How can we love the people that bring us the music we love,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because if you think back to if you go back hundreds of years to courts and that the musicians, the bards, etc., were all highly thought of
Mhm.
by the elite at the time because they did bring that music, that storytelling to them. Mozart, he had so many sponsors. And I think it was something that if he had been today's son, he would have been on the spectrum because he was just that genius. But he had so many people that supported him
Yes.
of where he was going.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, my friend Jodie is
She has.
coming.
Jodie says that I love that music is a form of storytelling. You can always find a song that relates to a moment in your life and how you are feeling. Yeah,
Mm.
that's the beauty because there is so many songs and music around from all genres,
Yeah.
um, that that you can tap into, at any time.
Yeah, definitely. Also on the comments, anyone can type in songs that they relate to or that they specifically helps them feel, I suppose, connected to that spiritual place. Or it doesn't have to be a typical spiritual song or what you'd call that, but something that makes you feel good, something that makes you feel like release your emotions, or just, yeah, just something that connects with your
Yeah,
heart.
yeah. I
Could be
mean, I
so.
I mean, I love, I Believe in Angels.
Yeah,
And I love it when I get, if there's a group of people doing angelic Reiki workshop or working with angels, getting us all to sing it together,
yeah,
because it just lifts the energy and sounds so amazing. I mean, you were saying about your experience around with the cacao
yeah,
ceremony.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so everybody started singing because I was doing the cacao So cacao is a how would you describe cacao? It's a kind of like it's like chocolate, but it's a
Yeah,
ceremonial medicine that they use in shamanic healing, and it helps you to connect to the heart. So it's very safe. It's not a you know, drug that makes you
yeah.
go into any dangerous state or anything like that.
Yeah. It's not psychedelic.
No, but it has a similar effect in the sense of helping you release any emotions. It helps you feel connected to your heart. Anyway, so we were doing. I was at my friend. I don't know if Jan's going to join us, but she's called Magical Muse, and we were. She said you can cut the cacao, Gemma, and then she said, sing us a song. And I was feeling really down about my journey because I don't often talk about it, but being an independent artist or being an artist in general um, is quite. It can be very vulnerable when you're sharing your own music or some. So I was feeling very like in my head. I was thinking, no one cares. I'm not loved. That people don't love my music. And then she said to me, "Why don't you sing one of your songs?" And for some reason, that just, like, made me cry, and the thing is, I actually couldn't sing one of my songs in that moment because I was just crying too much, but the song that did came into my mind was beautiful, and actually, I'm gonna pick it up in a so this album, Christina Aguilera's Stripped, has got the song Beautiful on it, and I tried to sing, but I couldn't sing. So everyone around me, all these beautiful women that, you know, a lot of them were older than me, so I thought they might not know the song, but they all knew the song. They all were singing in these wonderful, beautiful tones, and I just felt so held. I felt so loved, and just the unity of everybody singing together as we were cutting this cacao. It felt like going back to the days where women would gather and sing together. And this is something that we've lost in sort of modern culture where it's all about, the professional singers sing, but everybody else doesn't. Or you sing at karaoke or you sing in the shower or whatever it is. But, something like today at Together Women, everyone was singing with me. And that's something that you get that exchange of energy when you sing together that's really beautiful, in the words of Linda Perry that wrote the song. So, yeah, that's just a little story about how beautiful it was to have everyone sing round me because I can't really say I sing it 'cause I was crying. Um, but it's yeah, I mean, I'd say this album was probably the thing that helped me most when it comes to songwriting in the sense of, like, inspiring me to write my own songs. There's also a song on there called The Voice Within, and I now give Find Your Voice sessions. So, I'm just seeing someone's put, "Hi, good evening. I would recommend James
They
Porter's
have.
work for the Titanic soundtrack."
Yeah,
Very good, yeah. It's lovely. I have listened to that. Really nice. And
yeah.
I sang actually, My Heart Will Go On, I sang at my nan's funeral. So that
Oh,
song is quite, dear to
yeah,
my heart. And, it's interesting because we were on the beach and I told my dad I was gonna sing it, and I think he thought it was a bit cheesy as in like, "Oh, Celine Dion, My Heart
yeah.
Will Go On," but then I sang it and he actually cried because he realized how meaningful. I think it was the first time I saw my dad cry because we were on the beach, and that song is so connected to the ocean, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
of the film, and I think he realized the deep meaning of the song because it related to his obviously his mum, my nan, passing, but then it was just like the words are so my heart will go on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, almost makes me want to cry now. But this is the power of what music can do. And we were talking about the difference between lyrics in music and then
Mm.
also instrumentals as well. So that's an example of where the lyrics really supported, you know, um, the healing, because obviously a funeral or as part of a film, so obviously the original one is in a film, and in that sense, lyrics can really support telling the story, and that's something that, Jodie said earlier was around storytelling, and I think that's a really good point about music being a form of storytelling, because through storytelling we heal as well, because we see the bigger picture of the whole. And one thing I love about the Titanic um, story, and James Cameron, and how he managed to direct that film in such a beautiful way. It was such a spiritual film in a way, because of, she throws the necklace into the ocean
Yeah.
at the end, and then when she passes, she meets her love, the love of her life, who was Jack, and all the people that were on the ship were there. And I think that's what I'm starting to cry as well.
Well, so am I, but I can't watch anything to do with the Titanic, but that's because I had a past life on the Titanic.
Oh, so you've not
So
seen it?
I've
Oh, you've
seen
seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces, and
Yeah.
it's been in the background, but I couldn't sit there and watch it. And that be
Mm,
because of a past life on the
right.
Titanic. I mean, I did survive, but I was a little boy who lost her family and everything. And then when I got adopted, I ended up being killed by a horse. Um, so
So you survived the Titanic?
I survived the Titanic, but then I ended up being killed by a horse.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I remember any of my past lives. So how do you know if it's I did have a past life reading. And I think I do have a past life where I was a Christian, and that's why I sometimes struggle with Christianity now, because of the restrictions on that life. That's what I was told in this reading anyway,
Mm,
is that I was very strict. I was a strict Christian in this past life, that I had actually, and that's why, yeah, that's why I get a lot of fear now when I see Christians criticizing work like what we do, or anything that's not specifically only Christian. But I don't know if that's true. I'd like, it's difficult for me to know what's true and what's false when it comes to past life stuff. So I don't know if I know we're going slightly off the topic, but could you fill me in on how do you know if it's a past life? Like, do you get memories that come up, or what? How does it work?
Um,
Have someone
it
else?
well, if we go from because obviously I do past life regression on
Mm,
people, but if we go to say like one past life regression I had, when I actually went into that, I actually was in that 10-year-old child. I felt all her emotions, everything she was going through, etc. So it's kind of like I was feeling it, I was seeing it, I was experiencing it. And that's quite often when I take people and we do past life regression, they actually, they get to experience it or they watch it unfolding. And the beauty with past life regression is because of the scientific stuff that's been done, in fact, you can verify things that people have said stuff that they would never have known about. Brian L. Weiss is one of the best. I mean, hundreds of people that he took back. So it's what you experience, and even a reader, you know it's very rare you'll get told you were Anne Boleyn or or anything like that. Most people, when you go back to past life regression, You're just plain
Yeah,
old
normal
Joe
person,
Bloggs.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, so if you were making it up, you'd be wanting to be, Cleopatra or somebody like that. You're not gonna make up that you were, like I was on the Titanic, that I was, a little boy, on the Titanic who lost his family.
Yeah.
And that's so yeah, so that's the beauty with past life regression. And of course, the thing is, when you go back, I mean, the difference between a reading and actually having a past life regression is a reading will tell you what happened, whereas actually when you experience past life regression, you actually get to heal that and move on from it.
Mm.
So that's kind of like the difference. So a reading will give you a basic idea of what a past life was, but to heal from it, you really need to have an actual in-person session so that you can be healed from
Right. So it's about healing the past life rather than just because that's the thing. What's the point of remembering a past life if you can't heal from it?
yeah,
Because then it yeah.
although sometimes it may be that a past life you've got a gift or a
Yeah,
talent,
that's true, yeah.
so and you can't do it. So may
Mm.
you might not think, oh god, I can't sing or whatever, but you past life you're an opera singer.
I'm
Or
smiling because this is linking it back to music. I think I had a past life as some kind of I think somebody has told me, so I s they st what was that? No, I'm not saying I was her, but they thought of a they had this song that came to mind, and I can't remember what the song was. Um, it's gone from my mind, but basically one of my friends told me that this is a song you've got to sing. And I didn't know why I had to sing it, and then when I was singing it, he said, "I think you've had a life in this time period, and this is why you're reconnecting with this song." Um, so I don't know if it was that I was a singer before, or I loved singing, or I just resonated with a certain type of music. I think it was like I don't know if it was 50s music or something like that, but I'm not saying I necessarily even know if that's I resonate with that, but it's just someone. I suppose for me, it did fit naturally into my voice when I started singing. I wish I remembered what song it was. My
yeah.
dad actually could play it on the guitar, I think, as well. So, but yeah, it's just interesting how that topic came up as well. Should we go to some
Yeah.
comments?
Yeah, we'll go. Just
All
before we
right.
do that,
Yeah.
something, and then we did mention this in the last show, which was another thing that brought us onto this one, is something my mum said. My mum's quite spiritual, anyway. That's where I've been lucky, and that if you listen to a lot of the young people that are singing now, their voices are so powerful, and it's like they're reincarnated. See, singers from previous times, they've reincarnated because their voice are so powerful at
Yeah.
such a young age.
Yeah. And it's almost like I feel like the young people at the minute, I'm getting that there's something like they've been sent to Earth so that they can what's the word? Because we need a rapid awakening,
Yeah,
basically, because we desperately need spiritual energy on the earth to awaken everyone, basically. So I think there's these really um, talented young people that are coming along that are just blowing us away with their voices because it's like the angelic frequencies are just there. And it's almost like we need the young people with that kind of high frequency, to blow away any illusions of I mean, that's my new song, I'm just like, just, drop that one in there that I have
yeah,
a new single called Illusions. Check out the music video. I'll pop a link, below after the show as well.
yeah,
So, yeah, there's something about because even with that song, it was like the song just came so quickly. There was just It just was I did it on my phone. Can you believe it? I actually did it on my phone. I actually made the beat on my phone, and then it was about a year till I was able to get it onto my computer and re-record it, and I did redo some of the beats as well, but there was such a quick, uh, w burst of energy that I had to get this song down, and I think when music comes through that way, it's so powerful, and you've got to not ignore your impulses of when you get a song, write it down, record it, sing it out loud. If you ever feel a song coming, if you are a songwriter, you don't even need to be a songwriter. If you just feel a song coming, sing. Um, write it down. You never know what it might be. It might be a poem or just whatever it is. Make sure that you take notice of it.
Yeah,
'Cause these are messages
totally.
from the divine. That's so coming onto the spiritual power of music in the sense of, musicians, if they're good. Now, I don't mean if they're skilled, it's not about skill, but it is about skill, but I don't mean musically skilled necessarily. Some people are, but it's about the skill to channel music. So that's why the greatest artists tend to say that the music just came.
Mhm.
They don't really write it themselves. They might edit it or put it into they'll they'll produce it in a way, but the actual song, I don't I don't write it, as in I say I don't write it, I'm obviously there
You're
doing it.
physically writing it, but
It's a
it
message that I get given for myself at that particular
yeah.
time. It's a message that I'm given to most help me on my spiritual journey, whatever that may be. Now, it just so happens that that message may help someone else. And that's why it's so important to share your music if you do write music. And also, it's important to share music of people that you know or love as well, because I know we love to share songs we all know, but also, I'm a big champion of independent artists and supporting lesser known artists, not just because I'm one, but because it all ties into equality. So valuing the people that you love, valuing their music is so important. If someone you love, and I know you share my music, and I'm so grateful for that.
It's
Um,
brilliant.
yeah,
That's
thank
why
you.
it is really good.
Thank you. So yeah, I think we've got some questions,
We
or
have,
maybe not
so
questions, just
yeah, so,
comments.
this isn't gonna all come up. So Sharon says, "Going back to what we were saying about, the great and spiritual musicians leaving Earth too soon or had troubles or mental health issues, etc. Media is a curse and often feel that all high-profile superstars like Michael Jackson, for example, are mirrors to the issues that the collective have. So the individual star often ends up as the empath sponge for whatever is then subsequently projected onto them. Hard to explain here, but I'm sure you'll get, yeah, the perspective I'm trying to get across. Earth Song was way before its time. It truly was. Only truly understood by a few who were awake at the time. I love playing that song with the heartbeat of the powwow drum, incredibly powerful.
Mm. God,
Yeah,
that's a really deep comment, Sharon. I'm just trying to pick out the things that I want to say around that. Are mirrors to the issues that the collective has. So the individual star often ends up as an empath or sponge for whatever is subsequently projected onto them. That's the bit I want to say, is because that might be the bit that people go, "What?" But I know what you mean.
yeah,
I
I
think
know what you
Ray
mean.
knows what you mean. So if you don't know what that means, let's see if we can we explain it? I'm trying to think of an example other than MJ, but someone
Yeah,
else. So for example, with Amy Winehouse, who
yeah,
we so drugs are a problem, addiction is a problem in society in general, right? but instead of dealing with the problem of addiction, and how we treat artists as well, um, and also the other problem she had with relationships, I think codependency was part of her story. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that some of her songs were about going back, Back to Black, for example, was about her
Yeah.
pining for her ex, I think. Basically thinking about her ex while she was with a current partner. So, if you think about it, these are all problems that so many people have as a collective. As a collective, we have problems with addiction, drugs, codependency, and what happens is people relate to the music. Why are they relating to the music? 'Cause it's a
Yeah.
problem that a lot of people have, why would people be singing, "I tried to make me go to rehab, but I said no, no,"
Yeah.
'cause nobody wants to go to rehab and heal, you
E
know?
ex exactly, and of course, the thing is when you're doing songs like that,
Well, not nobody, some people do, we do.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I've not gone to well, I'm doing the 12 steps at the minute actually, not for drinking, but for internet addiction. So I know people who are going to rehab and are learning their spiritual lessons. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, so it's like, she got known for that music, so everyone just kept wanting her to do that music,
Yeah.
to do that type of song, which technically, if that's what you're selling and people want more of it,
Mm.
that doesn't help you come out of that because you're
No.
being swamped with everyone around you wanting that type of music from
Yeah.
you. Because you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sometimes see
yeah.
that, don't you? Artists will go in a completely different direction, and when they do, they kind of like say, "It was like completely breaking away, completely different, and I didn't
Mm.
know if it was gonna work or not."
Yeah. I mean, that was part of the reason why I loved Christina Aguilera because she always used to go in different directions, but it didn't always work out for her in terms of commercial success. Like, I think she's just done a Latin album. But I love that because it's like well, I'm learning Spanish at the minute, so but it's just what I mean is, like, that was my inspiration, so whenever anyone tells me that I can't do different types of music, I just use that as an example, or I can't use my name, because her name as well is Aguilera, so everybody wanted her to change her name because it was too hard to say, but sometimes people say to me, "Why don't you shorten Gemma Rosenthal? Because it's quite hard to say." Like, people don't know how to say it.
Yeah, and
I
I
was
always
like,
say
"Well."
"thou" rather than
Yeah,
"told."
exactly. But I always use that as an example. Well, she didn't change her name because she didn't wanna get rid of her heritage, as a Latin singer, and it's like, well, mine relates back to my Jewish heritage as well, which although I'm not particularly attached to being, I don't follow the Jewish religion, but at the same time, it's like there is something around your name being a part of who you are. And like, it's just for me, Gemma Rosenthal is. I did think about changing it, but I just thought, no, that's the name for
Yeah,
now anyway. Who knows
yeah.
if we'll change
You
it, but
you you know, and, we won't go into this conversation now, but, the guidance I've been given over the years and that is that we choose our names before we're born.
yeah.
We tell our parents what we're gonna be called. So when we start changing our name, we're changing our identity of what we actually came here
Mm.
to be. But that is a completely
Yeah, but I
uh,
think some people that's part of their path as well, though, isn't it? Because, well, the interesting thing, I was not going to be called Gemma, I was going to be called Sky, which I find really interesting because, so apparently that's where I was conceived was in the Isle of Skye, which is in Scotland, I think, those kind of islands, and I find it interesting because it's almost like I feel like I was in the sky. That's what I wanted to be called, but then I had to come down to earth and become a gem and
and a perfect gem, as well.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy for show. I'd definitely be
Yeah,
lovely
thank
to see
you.
you again. And thank you for talking, bringing in the Titanic. And as you said, the
Mm,
end scene is beautiful.
yeah.
And it was the word elevate we were looking for.
Right, okay. Um,
Uh,
Sharon's also put, pretty sure all my musicality and knowledge of shamanic drumming and healing comes from other lifetimes, as no one's taught me it.
yeah.
Well, talking of drums,
Yes. Talking of drums.
I do have a drum. So should we get some music in this show?
Yes, totally.
So this is a steel tongue drum, and it's just something that I can just play, or anyone can play really. It's really easy because all the notes are in tune. How can you hear it okay? Shall I just play it a little bit louder? And sometimes I'll just sing along to it. And in my Finding Your Voice workshops as well, I'll get people to either write down, and they might say a poem to the music, or they might sing. So for example, we could go so I'm just making this up on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to put the laptop back on because I couldn't see. And then I might think of some words. So if you can see if you can put give me some words that I can just write a song.
Yeah. So this is me. This is everyone here. You know, just put some words in so Gemma can actually create a song on the spot. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say rainbow,
Okay.
angels,
Rainbow and what?
angels.
Angels. Oh, I have a rainbow ray spray actually, angelic spray. That's interesting. Angels over the rainbow, angelic colors of the rainbow. Yeah, so if anyone else wants to write any words, any
Yes.
lyrics, and
Please
I'll
do. We're
sing.
creating a song here. You know, you're
This is
all
what I
part of this
help.
new song.
Yeah, and this is what you can do as well in a Finding Your Voice session with myself. So go really gently. There's no pressure. There's no expectation to sound any type of way. It's just your voice and your creativity.
Okay. Well, let's use Tobija's word from earlier, elevate.
Okay. Shall I do a different? Elevate, elevate. We're all here to elevate, elevate.
Storytelling.
Storytelling. By telling our stories, we elevate, bringing peace and love to the world. Elevate, 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 elevate. If you want to sing along with me as well, should we think of so let's think of the melody, keep it the same, so we can go bringing peace and love to the world. And we sing elevate, elevate,
Elevate.
elevate,
Elevate.
bringing peace and love to the
to
world.
the world.
Elevate, elevate.
Yay!
A little finding your voice session live.
That was absolutely brilliant. And it's and it's amazing how you can come up with songs from words that just
Words. Yeah, it's that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, we don't have to think I've got to write the best song in the world right now. It's just sing.
yeah. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a card for yourself and
Yeah.
everyone watching,
Mhm.
and then do you want to do a song for it?
Yeah. I'll use the
Okay.
keyboard this time.
Yep. So what does everyone, Gemma and everyone who's watching this
Nervous
live
now.
or at a later date need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? What does Gemma and everyone who's watching this live or at a later date need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? Okay. So perfect. We have got joy and delight. Open your heart to joy.
Okay, joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. Okay, so this has got to be some kind of joyous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a major key, right?
You tell me. You're the musician.
So when we have joy and delight, we've got different keys. You've got major, so this is major, C major, and then you've got minor. So if it was a song about despair and loss, we may use a minor key. These are also minor,
Mm-hmm.
It's because then we'd be sad, but we're not. Because we've got joy and delight. Open your heart tonight. So when you're writing a song, you want to try and use rhymes if you can. So like then, I said, because we've got joy and delight. Open your heart tonight. Open your heart. I feel like we need to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do a little bit of a minor just to give it a little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
Open your heart to joy. So going back to major. Open your heart. What would rhyme with joy? I'm not sure. There is one. Annoy.
Toy, soy,
Talk.
boy.
Yeah, there's not many. Maybe loy. No, there isn't very many words. Heart to joy. Maybe we don't have to rhyme joy.
No.
Open your heart and we can find joy. We'll just say it again.
Yeah.
Joy, joy, and delight. I forgot joy and delight. I've forgotten the chorus now. And delight. Open your heart.
Enjoy.
Enjoy, yeah. Tonight, because we've got joy. And we're sharing lots of music. So we can all enjoy.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, that was absolutely.
Spontaneous songwriting.
I
Oh,
know it's so good, and of course,
with the
that was what the
angels.
card. Yeah, that was what the card
Yeah.
was for. To open our hearts. To bring in
Mm.
joy and delight. that we need at this time. This show
Yeah.
is going out on the 17th of July, which is the new moon in Cancer.
Right.
So we've got that new start that we can bring in, that clear away the old
Yeah.
down stuff, and bring in new joy and delight. We're in the summer season.
Yeah.
We need all that fun and joy to sort of like come in. And
Yeah.
it's to remember not to take life so seriously.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
again, music and songs can really uplift you.
Mm. Yeah, and you've given me a new songwriting technique as well. Pull some cards.
Exactly. And
Write about
Sharon says, well, that was joyous, made me
it.
smile. Perfect. And that's what we like to do with this
Yeah,
show, is
yeah,
make you smile and to give you wisdom and insights, and hopefully inspire you to actually, take back control of your lives, to
yeah,
actually raise your vibration
yeah,
and actually move forward.
yeah. So, like, for anyone that's just watched that's an exercise that you can do yourself. If you have any cards, you can pull a card, write a song about it. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be the best song in the world that you don't have to be a musician. You can just start start to play around with whatever words are on the
Yeah.
on the card, really. I've got one of my cards here as well. It says "You are the music." So, yeah, it says on the back, create a melody to express your current mood. If you play an instrument, express yourself musically. It doesn't matter how it comes out, just allow the sounds to be how they are. Make some sounds: ahs, e's, oohs, laugh, sing, play. You are the music. So I might, this may or may not be a good idea, but I'm just going to see if I can, so you can demonstrate how it would be from not being a musician. You're not a singer, you don't claim to be a singer.
I definitely don't claim to be a singer,
But
and everyone around will tell you I'm not a
no,
singer.
but let's see if you can just demonstrate that you don't have to be a singer to do it. Now, this is not about, we're not going to judge Ray on what her singing technique's like or anything, but it's just to show that you can just anyone can do this. So pick a card. Shall I pick you a card, or do you want to pick a
You
card?
pi you pick me a card,
Okay. I'm gonna do Angels of Atlantis cards. So, oh, you might have,
which is perfect because it's Stuart Pearce, alchemy of
yes,
the
Stuart
voice.
Pearce is that exactly, who does voice, who worked with Diana actually,
Mm.
Princess of Wales. So, oh, two has come out. So let's see. Oh, okay, that's gonna be hard to write a song about both of those. Let me pick an
Go on.
easier one.
What were they? Go on.
Well, they were Mercy and Ecstasy. So I was like, that's quite a challenge to write a song about those, like, together. Do you understand what I mean? They don't really
Yeah.
go together. Um, and even if you did like a song about one of them, it still would be quite a
Yeah.
challenging topic. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna pick an easier one. But
Yeah.
we can use those as, right, okay, they may be things that have come up for us right now that we need
Yes.
to um I might
Yeah.
have a quick look, see what they are, but
Yeah. Well, it's to kind of like, have mercy and compassion, not
yes.
just for yourself, but for others at this time, with all the changes and everything
Yeah.
that are coming in. And, and it's to be in that joy and that ecstasy of
Yeah, yeah,
unconditional love.
exactly. Yes. It's just made me think of, "You got me begging you for mercy. Why
Yeah.
won't you release me?" Yeah. Okay, so I've pulled you Intention.
Intention.
Sandalf Sandalphon?
Sandalphon.
Yeah, Sandalphon.
Okay.
And I'll read you a little bit about it so you can get an idea. There may be some words that come up. Um, oh, I've just opened it on, wait, no. Where are we? Okay, Sandalphon. Intention. Drawing this card means Sandalphon is asking you to make a list of your many expectations, as these are the seeds of your intention. Thought creates reality. So, by revealing this card, you are being asked to truly specify what you intend, place a purpose on that intention. From clearly defined purpose, your experience is wrought. The angels want you to experience love, joy, and success. So they're three words you could put in there. Therefore, visualize yourself in your intimates in gratitude, joyously experiencing the outcome of your intention. This is the kernel from which abundance grows. Chant hey in praise of joy that you feel. So, hey.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's see. Bring your intention to the day. If you wake up, just say hey.
Hey. Oh my God.
Your intention will see you through every sunny moment and bring it back to
You.
you.
Ah! I absolutely love that. You did it so quickly as well. It was like the rhymes were just there. Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just
It was the
came.
channeling.
Yeah,
It just came through.
yeah, exactly. So this is something you can do yourself. Pick a card if you've got cards. If you don't have cards at home,
A
get
book, just
a
open a
book.
book.
Yeah, a book could work. Um, what else could you do? Even if you just see something, like I'm just looking, I can see Unleash the Magic, from a Canva thing that I got the other day. So just any words that you see around, or if you watch a video and just certain words stick out, just, yeah, make a melody out of it, and it's the most fun thing as you've just experienced. How did you feel when you did it?
It was fine. It was fine. You know, quite often if I'm working, I might go into harmonics with light language. And well, I don't call it light language, but I
Yeah,
might go into harmonics anyway. And I suppose sort of like being the actress,
yeah,
it kind of like it is, and being an avid reader and
yeah,
storyteller, then it just is a little bit more natural
yeah,
for me, and I don't mind. I go on stage.
yeah.
Whether I can, and this is really interesting because when
Mm,
I was a kid, in school, I was actually told to shut up,
yeah,
during, morning, assembly and that, not to sing.
mm,
I was told, "Oh, you can't sing, don't sing," and that was a real big thing for me over the years. But when I started getting more into the spiritual, or going really deep into the spiritual path, and I started channeling, um, sort of like light language or harmonies through, it's kind of like, even in panto, you can hear my voice. I may not be hold the tune, but I'm there because
you're there.
I'm just giving it my all. Um,
Yeah,
and that. Um,
and what I was gonna say, there's something around, there's a beauty in the fact that spirit can work through us all, and you don't have to have a perfect good voice to actually praise the divine when you're singing. You know, that's the beauty of it. And often, something sung with sincerity is much more beautiful to the ears, I feel, than someone with a great voice, but their heart's not in it.
mm. Yeah, and
Yeah, and you can
you
tell.
can really tell that.
Yeah.
And Sharon's had to go, but she does say thank you, ladies. But
Yeah,
she did
thank you.
say, "Oh, Mercy and Ecstasy sounds like a Kundalini activation type
Yeah.
song."
Maybe we need to yeah, let's see what those say, and see if we can think of a song for them. It's Metatron and Zafkiel.
Zadkiel, yeah.
So I'll read the Zafkiel one first because that's nearer. But so ecstasy, Zafkiel wishes you to know that divine ecstasy may come at any moment as a deep feeling of passion in your spiritual growth, or as an aspect of your love, whereby your whole being is transfixed on the choice that you've made to join the mystical pathway. The two gatekeepers of this path are awe and joy, both of which are closely aligned to ecstasy. As you experience this heightened state, be aware of the whispers of angels. As you see in the oracle, the angels use this high frequency opportunity to impart sacred, loving information to us about our journey. They give us higher self informations about the choices we make or how to open vistas of consciousness through our ethical existence. Trust the angels, for they always have your heartfelt interest in hearts. Chant Ha to open the heart chakra, to open the channels of light. Wow, that feels like a really powerful card.
Mm.
I don't think I was ready for it earlier. Do you know what? I will be really honest as well. I think it was probably goes back to that past life I had as a Christian or something. It's like I think I have this you know, fear around saying words like ecstasy, or because of that passion side of it and the
Yeah.
sensuality, how it relates to sexuality. And I think these are some of the blocks we have to get over as spiritual seekers, and definitely on the kundalini path. And I've done kundalini and had an awakening as well, but often it's like we can shy away from certain words or certain feelings because it feels dangerous. But it's actually like true ecstasy is a spiritual thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally is, and and that was what it was for. And when you think, in a church when everyone's singing, if you look at gospel
Yeah,
churches, the
they're
joy
in
and the
ecstasy.
ecstasy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and mercy is same. I feel like this is healing my past my past life stuff. Metatron, mercy, because this word came up the other day actually when I was speaking to someone who is a Christian. Um, The Oracle of Metatron beseeches you to explore ways of being merciful within yourself in relation to fellow human beings and nature. Mercy is God given and therefore channeled through the sovereign leader. It is then allowed to flourish through the garden of the meek. Therefore, if you harbour any negative issues such as anger, let go and live in your full power, your sovereignty, and express the implicit power of compassion. Be silent as you meditate on this oracle, and Metatron will bring you inspiration.
Yeah, beautiful. And I think that's the most perfect thing to end the show on today. Um,
Mm.
so before we go, Gemma, do you have any insights or thoughts to leave our viewers?
Well, first of all, can you see how the sun is reflecting in my mirror? And
Yes,
that is just beautiful right now.
that is really gorgeous.
Well, I think with these cards, I just thought how mercy and ecstasy can go together, in the sense of if you were writing a song, if we were coming up with a song for this, it would be something like a journey, like a story of going through the mercy to then reach the ecstasy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Ah, perfect. Matches. Yeah. Maybe that's your next song.
Ecstasy.
Yes,
Wow,
but ecstasy in the joyous,
in the
in the
joy.
joy, in the joyous
Yeah.
sense. So don't get a lot of words can have, double meanings,
Yeah,
but
I think it's just that it's that relation to the drug ecstasy is the the problem, isn't it? Because you don't want to come across as
no,
necessarily.
but the way you write it, the way the
Mm.
song would come through would come across as a different type.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
definitely will use this technique of pulling cards, I think, because it's such a quick way of writing a song
Mm, yeah,
and
yeah,
getting
no.
inspiration. I can't believe I've not thought of it before.
uh, Learn something new every day, and
Yeah.
that's the beauty.
Now it's gone like this. The rays. Ray.
Yeah, right? I know.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel like this conversation has surpassed my expectations of what this conversation could be.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing, and everyone who's watched today and has commented in the comments. Thank you so much for that. For giving us the inspiration.
Mm.
For the show, because when we do this, when I do this show, you know, it's for my guests and yourselves. We like to have the inspiration from the people watching. So thank you so much for joining in. And I hope everyone that you have enjoyed this conversation and found it insightful, because I know I definitely have. And I even got to sing live on my show rather than on my show with Graham, who's not watching, which is a shame. But
Yeah.
never mind. Otherwise, we'll get him to
Also,
sing
I
one
just
day.
want, and I don't wanna end it on this note, but I just want to just say, because someone had written a comment about, Whitney Houston dying from being
All
prescribed,
right.
Xanax, benzodiazepine. So I will say that I don't know the details. I've read the book that was written by, someone who was her assistant and friend and lover, Robin Crawford. So I all I know is from that book, and she didn't describe exactly what it was, but she wasn't there at the time. So I suppose, yeah, I just want to clarify that I do not claim to know the details of her death. May she rest in peace. Um, and let's just honor her life. Um, through her songs.
Yeah.
And I suppose the only reason we were mentioning those is so that we can learn uh, through the examples of
Yeah.
the different examples of how different musicians have maybe dealt with or not dealt with. I fastly wrote a small song. I take you with my words through time, making your thoughts flow like a rhyme. I can whisper in your ear, only words will disappear. To show no fear, only a tear. The feeling of your lips to see the words. Hey, I can't read the rest.
Here they are meant to be, going right through the distance. You create words to an existence.
Wow.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ward, for joining in with that. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so, so
And
much.
this is why I love doing what I do, because it is like the spark of creation gets passed on, and I've just done a YouTube video which I'm going to put up soon about this, passing on the spark. So when you share your creativity, and through these exercises, it's so amazing how quickly your creativity can come out. So if you do want one-on-one sessions with me to go more into your own creativity, your own voice, do drop me a message. My email is creativeheartscoaching@gmail.com. You can also message me on social media at Jemma Rosenthal at creativehearts.coach. And I'm on YouTube, Amazon Music, iTunes, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm on all
I
the things.
you
Facebook,
you are
Instagram.
You are, and what I will do is I will put all those links into the comments after the show, so
Yes.
people can just click on them. And I do recommend checking out Gemma's music.
Yeah.
If you watched any of the reels that I put out, I actually use Gemma's songs
Yeah.
um,
And
for the reels.
yeah, and more's coming as well. And you can donate to my music as well to help me to continue to make music and put it out there. There's loads of ways to connect, and the cards as well. So you can purchase cards, self love and creative cards deck as well. So if you're interested in any of those things, do reach out. Um, and I got a told, but I had a marketing session the other day, and someone said, get them to write ready. I've got, if you're ready to connect to your creative source, connect with your voice, if you want to find your voice, message me with a ready.
Perfect,
I'm
absolutely.
ready.
You're ready. So if you're ready, send Gemma ready.
Yeah, and I'll know, well, probably that you've watched this.
Exactly. And I'll also put a link to our previous show
Yes.
where we talked a little bit more music and spirituality and mental health. which was really insightful. And actually, we did more with the Gemma's cards in that as well. So do check out that one. So again, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Gemma, for sharing your wisdom and your
Thank you
talent.
so
It's been
much.
absolutely amazing as always. Um, and I'm pretty sure that later in the year we're going to have another show. You're going to be on again.
Yay! I'm also on the spirits and angels
Yes,
show
the
called
Angels and
Angels and
Spirits
Spirit show.
Angels and Spirits show. Yes, we had Gemma as a guest a little while ago, and no doubt we'll have her
Yeah,
as
so
a
if you're
guest back
interested
again.
in the cards, watch that show, because we
Yeah,
pull more cards.
we did,
Yeah,
and I'll put a link to that one as
yeah, and
well.
yeah, and the first one we did was around mental health, so if you're struggling with any kind of mental health, or if it's something you've been through in the past, or if you've got family members going through spirituality but mental health things, make sure you check out that first show, because there's some really valuable information that
Yes.
we didn't talk about today that was included in that first show. So make sure you do check it out. And thank you so much for watching.
Yeah,
Thank you,
definitely.
Ray.
Oh, you're welcome. And of course, anyone who's been watching, if you are ready to remember your divine presence and step onto your spiritual multidimensional path, but you feel lost, confused, stuck, or alone, then please feel free to connect with me so that we can see where you are now and how you can move forward to actually take charge of your destiny so you can spread your wings and soar. And if you want to get a glimpse of your exciting future, then why not sign up to my weekly newsletter to get a free future life progression recording to see what excitement is coming into your future. And also, there's a few other free gifts on there. And again, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. And I would like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more people who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny just like you. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when the show goes live, or I post new guided meditations. And each like, subscription, and share really does get this message out, and gets the show out and my guests out to actually help inspire everyone to take their path to be their own autonomous person. And I look forward to you all joining me, same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.